You know, as all these modern relationships start these days, we were very close, intimate friends for years before, over FaceTime and Skype and whatever else. But in the days before Zoom, and so it felt like we'd been together for ages. I think it's so free. There's something so free about the way he. This is ridiculous to say, but it popped into my head. It makes me think of that scene in the film of Mary Poppins when they take the laughing gas and they all kind of like float up into the ceiling and all the teacups and the scones and everything's all floating up because every time they laugh, they float. It's like that. There's something so elevating and untethered about it. He just goes with the thought. And I think like all great artists, he is amusing himself. And you can feel the rigor of that. You can feel that my dear friend, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but my sense is that he has a pretty low boredom threshold, as do I. And that's a very good place to start, always. Because you are, you know, you're there to amuse yourself, or to inform yourself, or to enchant yourself. And my sense is that he's very dedicated to enchanting himself, and he's very safe hands for himself. Just feels like a whole new world. And that's what this screenplay read like, and that's what this film is. It's a whole new world.
Oh my God, so many. Michel Gondry's work was such a gateway into cinema that was very like flights of fancy. Anyone that felt like they're marching at the beat of their own drum and like Tilda says, creating their own worlds, and where you could just see a frame and understand that it's their work, whether it's an Almodovar or a Wes Anderson or a Bong Joon-ho or a Wong Kar-wai, just like very unpreoccupied by the market or what someone might think people want, and rather just exploring what's in them.
It's such a beautiful and generous gift to an audience to give them the opportunity to relax and sort of go, oh, I don't have to figure out what's going to happen. I can give up on my sort of radar that's trying to second guess what's going to happen here and just go, take me. Apichatpong Weerasethakul, who I'm proud to call also a collaborator. The first time I saw a film of his was a film called Tropical Malady. I saw it in Cannes, and it's an extraordinary film. And at a certain point, you've been following one relationship between these two guys, and then suddenly you're in a jungle. And I remember the person I was with saying, they've got the reels muddled up. They've the projectionist has messed up, and the film's going off on an entirely different direction. And I had this instinct that this wasn't the case, and that Joey Apichatpong was just taking us somewhere that he was taking us, and I was right. That feeling, that sense, you know, he's made films about dead relations who come back and sit at the table in the guise of a monkey. I mean, that feeling of, yes, we're talking about a certain level of magic realism, which of course really, you know, that's Capstan full strength. But this sense of giving an audience an opportunity to abandon themselves is such a generous thing to do. And I think that Julio does that and has been doing that in all his other work and is now doing it for a cinema audience. And so he's joining a really honorable and very valuable tradition of filmmakers. You know, Fellini, for example. You know.